An anti-tank mine, or a landmine, damaged the Russian occupiers' Tor anti-aircraft missile system. It is reported by the military. Let's know more. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, Warzone, where we tell you all the latest news about Russia versus Ukraine. So stay with us till the end of this video so you don't miss any hidden news. The Ukrainian Armed Forces General Staff released an image of a Russian tactical mobile anti-aircraft missile system that had been damaged. The location of the accident and whether or not this vehicle became a military trophy in Ukraine are currently unknown. A specific modification of this mobile anti-aircraft missile system is also unknown, despite the fact that the armed forces claim it is a Tor M1 combat vehicle. Russia's Tor M1 surface-to-air missile system could not get where it had. Some holes in the road. Who could do that? Ukrainian sappers are shyly silent, the statement said. Soldiers of the Ukrainian Armed Forces seized several anti-aircraft missile systems and armored vehicles, including several MTLBs and a Russian army tank in early March, as previously reported. In the Kiev region, another Russian Tor M2 anti-aircraft missile system was destroyed by fire. While the engine was running, the anti-aircraft complex was set on fire. The Russian crew's fate has not been revealed. The Tor is a low to medium altitude short-range surface-to-air missile system designed to destroy planes, helicopters, cruise missiles, precision-guided munitions, unmanned aerial vehicles, and short-range ballistic threats in all weather conditions. The ability to fire on the move without stopping is the main difference of the new Tor M2 surface-to-air missile system. This ensures the protection of equipment while on the move. So now let's see how things between Russia and Ukraine are going right now. On the 27th day of the assault, Russia's invasion of Ukraine largely stalled, with no major advances in the north and east and only minor progress in the south. According to Western sources, Russian forces are consolidating near their positions, but Ukrainian forces are resisting and retaliating with counterattacks based on statements from both sides, Western defense and intelligence sources, and international organizations. Here is a summary of the situation on the ground. Although there was little movement around Kharkiv, which was mostly encircled, Ukraine's military general staff said heavy artillery was being moved up through a neighboring Russian region. If Russia aims to encircle Ukrainian forces in the country's east, as many analysts believe, that city would be a critical link in the chain. Sumy, located further north and near the Russian border, is also encircled. Russian forces have been beefing up their defenses around the capital, which is still not completely surrounded. For the first time in the conflict, Ukraine claims the attackers were laying mines around their lines. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian army accused Russian troops of shelling civilian areas in Chernihiv, which is surrounded by Russian troops. Russia's siege on Mariupol, a key Russian target for connecting the annexed Crimea and separatist-controlled Donbas region, continued. Hundreds of thousands of people are thought to still be living in Mariupol, which has no running water or heating and is running out of food. Ukrainian forces, on the other hand, are continuing to repel Russian attempts to occupy the city, according to the British Defense Ministry. The city of Kherson, just north of Crimea, was taken by Russian forces earlier in the campaign, making it the only major city they have taken so far. Despite Russian troops' best efforts to push west along Ukraine's Black Sea coast toward Odessa, they have yet to encircle the city of Mykolaiv, which stands in their way. According to the U.S. Defense Department, Russian naval activity off the coast of Odessa does not indicate that an amphibious assault on the city is imminent. There have been no reports of significant military action in the region or around Dnipro since last week's deadly airstrike in Ukraine's west. Although the west of Ukraine, including Lviv, the region's main city, is still far from the ground offensive, it has been hit by airstrikes. Russia claims to have used Kinzhal hypersonic missiles in a strike on March 18th in the Ivano-Frankivsk region, but Western officials are skeptical. At least 925 civilians have been confirmed killed in Ukraine, according to the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Office, including 75 children. It cautions that this is most likely an underestimation. Since announcing 498 troops killed on March 2nd, Moscow has now given a total number of casualties among its armed forces. According to Ukraine, approximately 15,000 Russian soldiers have been killed. Western sources generally estimate a lower number, but it is still in the thousands. Kiev has also refused to provide an update on the number of Ukrainian soldiers killed since President Vladimir Zelensky announced a week ago that approximately 1,300 have died. According to the United Nations, nearly 3.6 million people have fled Ukraine since the Russian invasion, with more than 2 million of them settling in Poland. According to the UN, a total of 10 million people have fled their homes, accounting for more than a quarter of the population in government-controlled areas. After failing to achieve the hoped-for quick gains when President Vladimir Putin launched the invasion a month ago, Russia's forces in Ukraine appear to be reverting to a war of attrition with devastating civilian consequences. According to the US government, the invaders' advance on land has been slowed by increased aerial and naval bombardment in recent days. Attacking forces are 15 kilometers or 10 miles to the northwest and 30 kilometers to the east of Kiev, Ukraine's capital, and can only bombard it from afar. While US President Joe Biden has stated that Putin's back is against the wall in Ukraine, US Defense Department spokesman John Kirby told CNN on Tuesday that Ukrainian forces are now going after Russians who are losing morale as food and fuel run out. As the Russians entered Ukraine on February 24th, hoping to destabilize President Vladimir Zelensky's government, capturing Kiev appearing to be their top priority. Despite mobilizing a force between 150,000 and 200,000 troops, Moscow failed to anticipate anything other than weak resistance and made sloppy logistical preparations owing to Russian intelligence failures. Russia still does not have complete control of the skies over Ukraine, which complicates their entire offensive. The Russians' lack of true command and control policy, a former top French military officer told AFP, citing a lack of coordination between ground and air forces, as well as a lack of precision in the strikes. Although the Pentagon estimates as many as 7,000 Russian soldiers killed in the first month, according to the New York Times, the number of soldiers killed cannot be verified. That would be more casualties than the United States had suffered in its years-long occupation of Iraq and Afghanistan combined. Despite all the destruction that Putin's offensive is bringing day after day, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said on Wednesday. On March 12th, Kiev acknowledged 1,300 troops killed in action, a figure that observers believe is likely far lower than the true figure. With their forces sunk, the Russians have turned their offensive into the series of sieges, ostensibly to wear down and demoralize the Ukrainian people. Approximately 10 million people have fled their homes, with the UN's human rights chief estimating that nearly 3.6 million have left the country. The more the Russian infantry struggles, the higher the army climbs up the scale of brutality and the disproportionate use of air power, a source told AFP. Putin needs a deal, so he needs victories. During the one-month offensive, Russia only took control of one major city, Kherson in the South Ukraine. Mariupol to the east is still under siege, which has sparked international outrage. Uncaptured northern cities such as Kharkiv, Ukraine's second-largest city, are constantly bombarded, while pressure on cities in the south and east is increasing. Mykolaiv, which stands in the way of Odessa along the Black Sea coast, is also under artillery fire. The next chapter in this war could prove even uglier, as it will likely turn into a war of attrition, with greater bombardment of civilian areas. Michael Kaufman of the US-based CNA think tank wrote on Twitter. Russian forces will probably try to compensate for poor performance by inflicting greater destruction. Attrition war is the most likely path, William Albuquerque of the International Institute for Strategic Studies told AFP if no negotiated settlement is reached. He warned against putting any pressure on Kiev to accept a ceasefire. Worst of all, Westerners' desire to alleviate Ukrainian suffering may actually benefit Russians. They rely on our willingness to see peace as a possibility, Albuquerque remarked. He warned they are going to use a ceasefire to build up forces. We sincerely hope you enjoyed the video. If so, give it a like and share it with your friends and family. Let us know if you have any questions or comments in the section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more of our incredible videos. You can also watch our other videos that have been specially selected for you. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.